Hey friends, it's Margie, and today I'm doing a movie review of the 1973 film Paper Moon. This film starred Ryan O'Neal, Tatum O'Neal, his daughter, Madeline Kahn, John Hillerman, P.S. Johnson, or P.J. Johnson, Jesse Lee Fulton, James N. Harrell, Lila Waters, Noble Willingham, and Bob Young. It was directed by Peter Bogdanovich. Music was by various artists, which is like bits and pieces of songs. There is no composer and there's no like composed film music. It's just little pieces of old songs. Cinematography was by Laszlo Kovacs, who also did cinematography for 2 Weeks Notice, Miss Congeniality, My Best Friend's Wedding, Say Anything, Ghostbusters, and a movie I just reviewed, Paradise Alley. It was edited by Verna Fields, who also edited Jaws and American Graffiti. Written by Joe David Brown, Alvin Sargent, and Alvin Sargent also wrote The Amazing Spider-Man, Unfaithful, and What About Bob, and produced by Peter Bogdanovich, Frank Marshall, Francis Ford Coppola, yes, the one you're thinking of, and William Friedkin. Okay, friends, the basic plot for this movie is there's this young girl who's either around 11 or right under the age of 11. Her mother passes away, and this man comes to the funeral or just comes to see her and finds out that she's dead, and the townspeople basically guilt him into taking her across the country to her aunt. He is a con man who sells Bibles, and she decides to help him with his scheme and blah blah blah. Watch the trailer. Let's talk about performances here. Ryan O'Neal, I thought, had a good performance. I thought his frustration was probably the best thing about his performance. He would get so frustrated and it would just be real. And you're just like, wow, you're really frustrated. That's pretty cool. Like, I didn't think he was faking it. I hope he was faking it, but it didn't seem like he was faking it. I really liked his performance. I thought he did a great job. Tatum O'Neal, won an Oscar for her role in this movie. I thought she did really well. She makes the character endearing, but you also kind of want to give her a spanking at the same time. So I thought she did really well with that. I don't know. I don't know if I would consider it Oscar worthy or not. But she may have been the best out of her category. So I don't know. I don't know who else was in her category. She did well. She did very, very well. Madeline Kahn, I enjoyed her performance. I thought she did well. The supporting cast for me on the whole was good, but none of them really stood out. It's basically the top two are basically the whole movie. Like, just being honest, is Ryan and Tatum. I thought the directing for this was good. It's very simple. It's very raw. Similar to My Left Foot, which I've done a previous review of. It's not a lot of fancy stuff, and it's not really over the top. It's just kind of, hey, here's two people acting. Let's film this. I liked it. I thought it was good. The music for this is bits of songs, as I mentioned. I thought they went well with the film. I would have liked a little score in there, but they didn't get anyone to score it, so that's kind of depressing. Should have got Elmer Bernstein. Oh, my heart bleed for you. I love him. Okay. Cinematography. I enjoyed the cinematography for this a lot, guys. I really enjoyed it. It's a black and white film, actually. But he did well capturing everything, so I thought it was good. The editing for this, I like the editing for this. It's a very slow-moving film. You really have to buy in. You know, you have to sit down and be like, okay, I'm committing. You know, I'm not going to get bored with this. Like, you pretty much have to decide before the movie starts, or it will get kind of draggy. It's a very low-key film. That's what I'm trying to say. So be aware of that. You know, if you want to watch this, you need to commit. I'm just telling you, commit, okay? I'm just kidding. But I thought the editing for this was fine. The writing for this, I thought was good. I liked the writing for this. I thought the characters were organic and real, and I liked the dialogue. The writing for this was fine to me. It didn't blow me away, but I thought it was good. Okay, friends, let's jump into the Parents Guide before we talk about special notes. This movie has no use of the F word, 2 uses of the S word, 1 use of GD, 7 uses of D, 1 use of H, 1 use of A, and 2 uses of B. It has 4 religious exclamations. So be aware of that. Sexual content. One character is a prostitute, and there is mild allusions to that subject. In other words, it's kind of hinted around, and we all know it, but it's not ever talked about. And other than that, there's no sexual content. Violence and gore, none, really. There's a fist fight between two guys, but it's very mild. And then as far as drug and alcohol content, there's smoking, there's moonshine, but it's not excessive. So, yeah. Okay, special notes, friends. This movie is in black and white, which I thought was an interesting choice. It wouldn't surprise me if they did it in black and white because they were broke. But even if they weren't broke, I still thought it added to the film that it was in black and white. I thought it was endearing. Like, I liked that it was in black and white. I love black and white movies, though, guys. So that's kind of a personal taste. This is totally like a little, like, reminder to me of Bonnie and Clyde. Like, totally. It's like, hey, it's this dad and this kid, and we're gonna go, like, cheat people and be on the run and live in hotels and live, hang by our bootstrings. It's a fun movie. It's very low paced, but it's just kind of like, we're just gonna kind of like roll with the breeze and make money and cheat people. The two main characters are very endearing and you root for them. Truth. Even though you know that they're both con men, essentially, especially Ryan O'Neal. He's going up to these people and he's saying, oh, he looks through the obituaries, engraves people's names on the Bible, and then goes to their loved one and say, oh, the deceased bought this Bible for you, won't you buy it, and all this kind of stuff. And they do. Even despite all that, you still want them to be together, and you still want them to, continue on this life of crime, honestly. Like, they are almost caught in several instances, and they are almost separated at one instance, or were they separated? I don't know. I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys, but all I can say is you want them to stay together. You want them to, be the father-daughter, and it's never directly established that she is his daughter. He always denies it, but I think we all think that it is his daughter, so... In real life, of course, it is in real life, but as well as in the film, they just kind of fit. Their chemistry is great. Of course, they're father and daughter, but they fit together, they work together really, really well. And that definitely shows in the film, the great chemistry that they had. And you want them, they're very endearing. The writing for them is very endearing, and you feel sorry for them when they get caught. Like, one of the times you're like, oh, that's so sad. We just want them to keep living this life of crime and be happy. And yeah, so that was good writing on their part. Yeah. Okay, would I watch this movie again? I would watch this movie again, guys. It was a good movie. It's well made. There's some good acting. It's enjoyable. It's entertaining. It did drag a little bit for me, but again, I said when I started watching it, as I do with every film, I'm going to commit. I'm going to buy in, and I'm going to stick with this thing to the end. And if you do that, you'll be rewarded. I'm giving this film 4 stars out of 5. I did enjoy this movie a lot, guys. I would watch it again. And it's been so freaking awesome. Like, the last, handful of reviews have all been films that I've been dying to see forever, such as Paradise Alley, Dead Man Walking, etc. And they've all been, or at least just those two, have been so good. Like, oh my gosh, totally met my expectations. I'm on this kick of good movies that I want to watch again, and I never have films that I'm yeah, I want to watch this again. Most films for me are one-timers, so I'm kind of over the moon. The paper moon. That was, I thought that was funny. Not playing that at all. Anyway, I'm kind of excited about that because, I haven't had movies in a long time that I'm I really want to watch this again. So hopefully this is a treat for you guys as well, that you're wow, Marge, you're really high on life right now, and you're willing to see some of these again, because usually I'm I would not watch that again. So yay, guys, I'm actually getting to watch some really, really anticipated films. I've been wanting to see Dead Man Walking, for instance, for several years. And I've just never been able to get my hands on it. And when I saw it, I was oh my gosh, yes! So that's exciting. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for checking out my review of the 1973 film Paper Moon. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you guys later.